Good afternoon, everyone. I am Mr. Chester, just Mr. Chester today. And the bag of confetti that you see in front of us is what is left of Brandon after I've destroyed him. What are you working on today, man?
I'm going to show everyone how to make some cool mosaic faces.
Mosaic?
Yeah.
Is that like mimosas? I want a mimosa.
I don't know if you like orange juice and champagne, so probably not.
What's wrong with orange juice and champagne? You say it like that's a bad thing. It
I
seems
mean, it's a fantastic thing, but I've never seen you drink orange juice and champagne.
I have in a mimosa. I actually sent Britta was going to the store and I asked her if she could find alcohol-free champagne so we could do a mimosa together.
Oh,
Unfortunately, they did not.
they should have sparkling grape juice.
That's not the same thing.
I mean, you just have too high standards then.
Yes, that's what's always been said about me. I
So Brad, I want to know, are you Elmo or are you Grover?
think I'm Elmo by how I act. I think I'm Grover by how old I am. So that's a problem. We'll have to get a vote. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna do a
You're gonna put up a poll?
put up a poll. Am I? I should put Brad. Is Brad Elmo or is Brad Elmo Grover? Ooh, what happens if it's Super Grover?
I mean, you have a very high likelihood of being a 10-pound meatball, so
10-pound meatballs are delicious. I'm just saying.
you're just saying.
I mean, I'd be down with that. I do like meatballs quite a bit.
So what I'm doing today is I'm working on a commission project for someone who would like some mosaic bases. So I'm going to start building from scratch. I started working on some stuff last week, but then I got distracted by being sick. It always keeps giving me cooties. Jesus, stop that.
I can understand. I'm reading chat on the wall, and I thought for just a second that Eloise was saying she was reading about me in other languages. I'm like, what's happening? I set the world ablaze. I had a good time at the tournament this weekend. Good job by the Everwinter peeps. And Bostonians, they had a wild. They're AOS guys. They had a huge AOS tournament. That was legit. Maybe even too legit.
So what'd you take?
I took Vanguard. I took the Marnius Calgar, the one that the list I came up with for sure. No, the list that Sean and Tom convinced me. Basically, we had the same base, and it was whether we were going to run Dark Angels or Marnius. And I was resistant to Marnius at first because of the fact that he's still big points. You know what I mean? So it's tough on that. And whoa, hold please. There we go. Apparently, I decided to accidentally click myself off. But I needed that CP, man. Those Vanguard strats are just too good. And the unit of aggressors is actually legit shooting. It's hand to hands, like, it's a bunch of power fish, you know what I mean? But, like, it's just the volume of lethal wound shots. It's just so big.
Now, did you deep strike them or?
Now, you start, though, you have those guys infiltrate because they start with the biologists. So you just pick a good spot on the board. Sometimes they're aggressive, sometimes they're not. Yes. Is Brad not Oscar since he likes his trash so much? True story.
Time to modify the poll,
Oh
Brad.
my God, I'm punching him. Everybody that runs Marnius Vanguard is running John's list. They were giving me shit about that this week. I'm like, I sent that list before you ever even had it. Ah, it's not like it's hard to figure out. Yeah, I mean, John's a great player. He's a good list builder. So I'm sure it's not like he wasn't going to come up with it. You know what I mean? But like, it
You're just
just
taking other people's ideas, Brad. It's
yeah,
okay.
fuck you. Just drives me crazy. You're like, And that's so long ago. I'm like, I have proof. But I like the list a ton. I don't know what I'm gonna bring in the future here. Like I got Glass City and then LVO coming up, and those are I think are the only two things I'm gonna do. Because I was a hot trash fire this weekend. But
I mean, you fly out, like you flow out what the day before,
yeah,
so you need to give yourself time to recover. Then I'm assuming you came back Monday morning.
I came back Sunday night.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
Yeah, I went straight, like literally award ceremony, got into a car and drove. Thank you, Alex, for taking me there. Thank you, Todd, for getting me there. But the thing is that playing the Vanguard list, you're playing 5 turn games. And when you're talking about 6 game, 10 game tournaments, it just wears you down, man. It's mental fatigue, you know what I mean? And like small mistakes can make a big deal. I was playing Johnny Zoo in the last round,
What
and
the fuck?
what's that? I did the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure guitar with it because I said that I didn't believe it was his name. I thought it was just his stage name, and he's a lead singer in a band. Uh, but like I was saying to him, it's just I played a really good game, but like had a couple super small errors. But like when you're playing in the last games versus really good players, those can really come back to haunt you. You know what I mean? There was a 12 point total turn of things that happened. You know what I mean? Me goofing very slightly a move up, and then one big move where I just got lazy about stuff and didn't completely box out an objective. But like those would just come back to haunt you. I was playing Vital Ground, you know what I mean, on a super slow scoring mission. You can't be making small things, you know what I mean? Because it's a big deal. And that's the thing is that you play like a shit ton of games and you play 5 turns every single game, you know what I mean?
So was it a 5 round tournament?
That this was only a 5 round tournament. So that's why we had 3 undefeateds. It was Sean Naden, Sam Pope playing his Unending Swarm. Speaking of somebody that kills himself, and myself, we're all undefeated. So
Yeah, playing Unending Swarm for a tournament sounds absolutely awful. Did he have movement trays or?
now he was just the thing is that I wanted to talk to him. Him and I just messaged him today, as a matter of fact. He's we're gonna chat about Tyranids because I don't think I can play it, but I think that that is a real viable list because you're kind of, even though it's a grind, sometimes when you have that many models, you just auto win against certain armies. Like there's just a lot of armies that don't have the damage volume output to deal with that. You know what I mean? I actually just think it walks through all there if you play it right, especially in certain missions. You know, because you just push up and basically bully objectives, and you can just your opponent can't get behind you because there's no freaking space. You can't even mess up with that army of leaving space because there isn't any space. So you take people, especially people that take fixed, because a lot of people takes behind teleport, cleanse and teleport, you know, things like that. You're just not letting them get those autos. Exactly. Who needs movement trays when they have a fanny pack full of anti-inflammatories? Sean has changed his list a bit, but it's literally based on things that he's painted. I have to give Naden credit. He's playing a Naden style list, which means he's got some unique shit, but mainly his shit's based on how fucking cool his stuff looks. And some of his shit looks out of control, dude. Like you got to see his Gaz in person. That thing is fucking pimp. It just looks cool as shit.
Yeah, the last time I saw his army was Warzone Atlanta last year, so I haven't seen it since.
Yeah, he's just got some really nice shit, and it just looks well, and he plays it really well. It's a Sean style army. It's very aggressive. You know what I mean? And we were talking about it, and people made some people with some really good armies like CSNs and stuff like that. They made some big mistakes against him. You know what I mean? And we were talking about why, and he's like, thinks that a lot of people just don't know orcs, and you put that kind of pressure on them and they're not 100% sure what to do because it's not one of the armies that they face all the time, so they start making mistakes. based on inexperience playing against a certain faction. But the deceiver is still just kind of the redheaded stepchild of the Catan, man. It's just hard for me to take the other guys because their rules and their damage is just big time. And also, I mean, he screwed over an entire race. I mean, there's a reason they call him the deceiver. You should never negotiate when they send the guy they send to negotiate. It's known as the deceiver. I mean, they didn't know that at the time. That's what they named him.
I'm pretty sure that's why he got his name, right?
Yeah, he did not do the Necron tier. I don't think they felt they got a fair deal with that. But I do want to talk about robots. 100%. I think that.
So I haven't looked at the Necrons or AdMech or anything. So pretend I'm 5 and I know nothing about what's going on.
Oh, I pretend you're 5 all the time.
I know. So you should tell me what interesting things should I be looking for?
So I like the Canoptic the Canoptic detachment quite a bit. So here's like where I am, and then I've got 345 left. And this is the basis for my list. I was just talking to Jason about this. Wisconsin Jason.
Are you gonna pull it up in battle scribe so everyone can see?
Then I'd have to do other things. That makes me tough.
Come on, Elmo, let's do this.
Well, then I got to figure out if I can actually make it happen. I actually have it up right now. Window capture? Let's try window capture. What are we going to do? Roster. Oh, there it is. Boom. I'm a genius.
I'm proud of you.
I mean, I'm basically the smartest person in the universe right now. So it's Canoptic, and I like it quite a bit. So, like, basically, you've got the Nightbringer. Now, the Nightbringer's slow as balls now, all the Catan are. They move 6, but the dude bangs. He's 255. He's half damage. He's got a 4-up invuln. He regens. And, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, he's also got a D6 plus 2 devastating wounds attack that's strength 14, AP 4. And then he's, of course, got his sweep, and his sweep's actually AP 2 damage. So, like, you put 3 Technomancers with 3 units of Wraiths. And then you have Trash, of course. And you do 2 Death Marks, 2 Flayed Ones, 3 3-man Scarabs, 3 individual Locust Destroyers, and 3 Doomstalkers. And Doomstalkers are actually legit now. What are you talking about? I love that some bum guy. I had to figure out what the hell this is. Talonov. Talonov. Whatever.
I think he's one of that guy named Steven.
I don't know.
Lyle
it starts with a C. He crawls on the ground. All of this benefits from this shit. I feel like your Tau was OP. Thank you very much. I made that work. Doomstalker's getting full rerolls because of the power matrix and because they're only $135. 3 units of race, and then just the rest of the shit's just trash. I'm sold on 2 flayed ones because I want 4 deployers just to get in the way. There's too much shit that scouts. There's too much stuff they can get right up on top of you. The death marks, I'm not looking to do anything. I'm literally looking to deep strike them and score secondaries. Same thing with the swarms and the destroyers. I'm literally looking to score secondaries. This is just the ultimate trash man list that really controls the pace of the game. Crowley or Hyde, I'm going to play you with this. Crowley, we're playing this week. I'm using this list. You've got one of the units of Wraiths infiltrates, and these Doomstalkers are getting full rerolls because they're going to be in Power Matrix all the time. I've also made a list with 2 Sentinels, and I haven't decided how I feel about those. It's the Forge World model. It looks like a centipede, and it's got a big gun on it, a strength 10 gun.
I mean, I would like to know how you're going to get that model, but yeah.
I don't worry. I don't worry about these things. You keep saying crazy things like getting models and stuff. What do you?
It's a little harder to source a Forge World model that no one's ever seen in person.
I just have Alan make it for me. He'll just make it cool.
Okay.
It's not the, oh my god, he doesn't even know the stats. D6 plus 1 shots on 4. It's heavy, so it can be +1. Full rerolls, and it's blast. You, sir, smoke crack cocaine.
So what is the give? Like, I have not paid attention at all to any of the Necron stuff or AdMech stuff. So what's the gimmick? What are people gravitating towards? Like, what do the new detachments do? Like, is the prior list of never-ending Lich Guard and Warriors gone?
Oh, 100%. It's all that shit's gone. They
So
changed
what?
all. It's just, I actually think Necrons are really, really fun now because you can make like so many versions of different lists with it.
So why is that gone? Like I said, I have no idea what's going on.
Oh, they just made it worse, and then the reanimation's worse now.
Okay, how is it
So,
worse?
well, because you can't do it 22 times. You don't do it reactively again. You know what I mean? You just do it at the beginning of the turn. So like you can get guys back, but you're not just getting 100 guys back. Plus they also changed like how the guys work and the price of everybody and what they do. It's just you've got so much other dynamic shit now. Like you've got immortals dropping down. I actually thought about doing triple immortal bomb with the canoptic and popping the strat for immortals. But I don't know how I feel about it because it's kind of a big point commitment, and I've already committed a shit ton of points with the wraiths and the technomancers, the cryptex. So, I mean, it does. So Tan getting stuff back is amazing. Looks like Brad is Grover. 50-50 so far. Brad Elmore Grover. I like where it's at. So, but I like playing it like quite a bit because you can really force the action or you can just threaten the action, and you've got all this ability to play mission. Like with all those single destroyers and scarabs and death marks just dropping in and flayed ones getting in the way so people can't just scout up on top of you. It's a big deal.
So
Like me,
where would you rank Necrons and AdMech now that the books are out and the attachments have been released?
I mean, I haven't played it. I've looked at AdMac and I've seen some lists that look like they could be really gross and skew, but I don't think they're lists that are going to win tournaments. I think they're lists that are going to make other people lose tournaments. I think that Necrons are actually better than they were before, but also I'm a little colored on my decision on that because I think that they're exciting now. I think that you can do stuff with them. I think that it's a real army. I don't think that it's just a bunch of bricks of nonsense sitting there and just kind of scoring. It's an army that can move around. You've got Canoptic, which is my personal favorite right now, but you've got Hyper Mojo, where you're bouncing around like GK all the time, and there's like so many builds that you could possibly use with that. True. I mean, if you reserve Nightbringer and bring him Rapid Ingress, I don't know if you even have to all the time though, because it depends on what tournament or type of terrain you're playing on. Because if I'm playing on, like I played on GW1 all weekend, and I'd start the Nightbringer on the board every time there, because what you do is you just push him down right next to the wall that's next to the neutral zone objective, and then you just basically bully that objective with a Nightbringer, and it's really hard to see him. His model is like laughably tiny.
I'm surprised they're still allowing you to use them
He's so
because
small. Well, there's no new model.
that's what I'm saying. Like, this is a prime opportunity to release a new model for him.
Yeah, I mean, agreed on that. But the thing is that until they do, he's like numero uno for Catan. I mean, probably is anyways because of his damage. But like, he's so easy to hide because he's so tiny for what he
I mean,
is.
that model came out in what, 2002, 2003?
It's forever ago. They've been using the same model since the beginning of them. Since they had him, that's the same model. So it's a big deal in that because I think that you can just hide the shit out of him. I like that army quite a bit. I just think that you can score just a shit ton of points. Now, you don't have maximum damage mojo, but you can damage check people pretty hard if you need to. Yeah, I mean, and the thing is all those dudes are OC2. The only thing that sucks is their leadership's all trash. Which I don't understand because they're literally not allowed to fall back if they don't want to. The entirety besides the actual ruling people don't have effective free will. They're just trapped. It's like a horror story.
Mm-hmm. So
Hold on,
what's their
Crawley.
leadership?
Crawley, for Canoptic, what do you think are the best data sheets? And it's now, I'd have to wait for the pause now. So like, what exactly do you
You
think?
should just have him call in and drop some knowledge bombs on you.
Apparently, he's got all the knowledge. And I don't think this is the end all be all. I just think it's really good. We put some decent amounts of games into it. We've been playing around with it. Um, Jason came into Toledo. We played at Sniggs' house. We played at the game room. We played a ton of Necron games, and I really enjoyed these style of lists. They feel really good. Um, it just, you have answers versus almost everything. See, I was gonna put two in, but like the thing is that I really my list is the two Doomstalkers is like my go-to, but the third one I had literally 135 points left over, and I was just like, click, and I put the third one in. Yeah, I mean, it just fit in really well in points.
Is the Doomstalker that thing with legs?
Yeah, it's
Like
the
I don't think I've ever actually seen one in a Necron list ever.
it was terrible before. It used to cost 185 points.
I mean, in prior editions too.
But
Like, didn't it just like have a
it's always
multi
been like that. He also used to just have straight D6 shots and do nothing. Immortals are sauced. It's just the fact that it's such a big point commitment. So I'm debating whether I want it or not. Immortals can drop down and just do mortals, and they can do mortals on a 5-up. You know what I mean?
That seems pretty good.
It's just, it costs a lot, and they immediately get smoked. The thing is that Doomstalkers are fantastic in Overwatch. Doomstalkers also Overwatch on a 5. So it's the world of it is 100% the world of the worlds thing, KR. It's another reason I want to bring it though too, because those are cool looking.
So what are you taking the Glass City then? Since you said that was your next tournament you're planning on going to.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't.
Well, it sounds like you're pretty excited about Necron, so you're gonna.
I am. Oh, you know, the thing is probably you're saying the Tomb Blades. I have another list with 3 units of Tomb Blades. It's the same base list. It's just what's different in the trash. They did come in the box, yeah. The Doomstar, the War of the World, the Doomstalkers came in the Dominus box. So, but I was using the 3 units. There's a good chance that I just drop that third and go back to the Tomb Blades. So I agree on that. You know what I mean? I can immediately do that in this list, to be honest with you. Let me pull that list back up. If I kill the third Doomstalker and jump into Mounted, I can jam up Tomb Blades immediately. Because I don't think I need the third Scarab. But the Immortals cost so much, dude.
So how much does it cost for 10 Immortals? And I guess you need a support character to do
You
all the
need
shenanigans.
support. You need the core. It's just the thing is it gets costly like right now. So that's my only issue with them. I mean, maybe I'll love them later. You know what I mean? It's just they do big damage on that but it's a 2 CP strat to drop in. You know what I mean?
Because can you get it for like free?
You can get it for free on the 1, but you'd have to take a Lord at that point in time. So it becomes like a very expensive unit. So you know how I feel about expensive anything.
So how many shots is it? Like how many mortals is that unit generating on average?
It's it's a $1.95 if you don't take the Overlord, but if you don't take the Overlord, then I just don't know if you're gonna have 2 CP to drop all the time. Exactly though. If you take the Overlord, all of a sudden you're looking at a 300 point unit. That's my issue with it. It's not that it's not good, and I might be using it all the time, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? But it's one of those things where those guys can't punch their way out of a paper bag, and they don't have a way to get the hell out of there if your opponent's not an idiot and just immediately collapses on top of them. So, you know, and because I want if I'm going to do it, I want to drop 2 of them. So, 1 plus. So yeah, 1 unit with Overlord and 1 unit without. Yeah, I could see that. It's just, man, it's so many points. I'd have to drop so much trash. You know how much I love my trash. I am the trash man. Yeah,
but
exactly.
it's cheap.
KR, 300 point unit, cheap. Settle down, and you're. He's buying those Ferraris prices.
I mean, I've been using crisis suit breaks where I deal more mortals to myself than I deal to the enemy.
Yeah.
So yeah,
The problem is, I thought about the Royal Warden, but it's not that they're not going to be locked into combat. They're just going to be dead. Yeah, I mean, like so many lists right now will just kill that whole squad, you know, and that's what I'm worried about. Is that am I going to do enough damage to warrant their price? Because right now, I think that I can just. The list isn't looking to just be big damage. The list is looking to take the board, score a piss ton of points, max my secondaries, try to deny primary, and score. So I don't know if that would be the same list concept. Whether it's better or worse, I don't know yet. I need more time playing with the Necrons, to be perfectly honest with you. Because that's the thing, and that's one of the reasons I really like this book so far, is I feel that there's a lot of different styles of lists in that book. We're talking about one detachment, and we're basically talking about 3 different armies. You know what I mean? Coming out of that one detachment right now.
so do they have a shit show attachment like the first company for Space Marines?
They're fucking never gonna make goddamn destroyers good. I swear to God, it just pisses me off. It's like the one thing that I really like about Necrons is literally crazy robots that have like programming problems because they've been in hibernation forever. They just woke up out of the slumber of millions of years with, I must kill everyone. And that is hilarious, and I want more of it. So, but they don't have that. That detachment's kind of meh, and I wish it was way better. To be honest with you, that one kind of bummed me out a little bit because I thought that was going to be cooler. But the hyperspace is really cool. It's the GK one. The Synaptic is really cool. The base one's fine too. It's just it doesn't have anything that you can't already do. I think that there's going to be multiple versions of Canoptic that are completely playable. Yeah, I agree on that. I'm just debating whether it's worth it. It's just, I would rather leave the Wraiths around than I'm gonna let the Immortals hit me again. Because Immortals also are like wildly easier to kill. So it's just one of those
What a
things.
T5 one wound?
Yeah, they're just as opposed to 4-1 guys with 4 up invul and a 5 up final pain. So it's just
So they come down, they kill one thing,
it's just
and you
they gotta get fairly close, and I just feel like a unit of Inceptors will just piece them. You know what I mean? With some bonus shots basically going in. It's in a sense. I can. It's the problem is that I'm thinking of all the top lists. Like one unit of Chosen will piece them. I'm not sure if an undivided Forge Fiend will piece them with the strat, and Eldar just have multiple ways to piece them out. They're just gonna smash them with Night Spinners and with some other trash. So I don't know if the Necrons are going to define LVO 2024. It really depends on, to be honest with you, Joe. What if the hyper detachment gets some cool lists put out, and we've got some time. You got to figure that we've still got a month and a half to really figure it out. So like I think you're going to
yeah, but how
see.
many tournaments are going to be happening over the holiday
But it's
season?
not just tournaments. It's people just have a lot of time to play test. You know what I mean? And people have time off. So it's that because what you're doing is you're playtesting with what is the secret sauce for this army with magical rules, because they have Grey Knight rules with just better units and more damage. What do you think's so funny? Goddamn Chud and Crawley trying to fucking troll us. I don't think that I don't care about them bouncing you, Chud. And they don't just, you're literally not going away. You're OC2. What am I attacking all this time that doesn't do some work? People fail 3-up saves. Am I just going to charge only Terminators or something?
Maybe.
Battle shock ability is not valued enough. No, because there's a lot of people that can just don't care. And or you're gonna use the strat to just bounce on the one time that you really needed to count. So I love that there's just a random ad in the middle of the video. The GK list with 18 Locust Destroyers, I played it. I just didn't like it as much because it didn't pick up enough. And I'd rather just sit there and hug people. Probably you're right. Like, they don't have, like, the legendary killing power, but you're just taking shit away from people. You can also just move block the shit out of somebody's army. And I'm going to score max secondaries with that much garbage. I'm going to put up a 40. No one's stopping me. I just get too much shit from somebody stopping me from scoring that. So then I'm just looking at the primary game. And I'm just volleying in with the Doomstalkers and shit.
So is this a new list for Brad?
I don't know. I gotta play it. I like it. I like the play style of it.
See, but you must not like it. Are you actually even going to LVO? Like, do you have a ticket, or are you just gonna,
I gotta call Andy because I'm gonna kill him. I literally saw him over the weekend. I told him I didn't have a ticket, and I'm trying to look for a ticket to LVO. And then he immediately puts up in chat, "Hey, is anybody looking for a ticket for LVO?" I'm like, "Man, I just talked to you, motherfucker. I'm gonna stab you." But hopefully he still has it because I'm gonna grab it from him. And if so, I will start booking my shit.
Oh, well, you should probably figure that out.
Well,
I mean, it's
I
like
won't book
4
any of
weeks
my
away.
shit right this second. Well, I have to wait a second because I freaking had a plumbing disaster happen at my rental. And I kind of don't have any money now, so I used on my credit card bug and shit to fix it. I'm not excited about that. Houses should not explode. Hey man, do you know that water damage will cause a lot of damage in money
It's
in
so
your
expensive,
pocket?
real quick.
Yep. So I had a little bit of money, and now I have no money. So I thought I was turning it around, Brandon, and then I was not.
So if you drive through Toledo and you see a short man who's wearing a Ohio State cap on the street corner,
It's
you know
me.
why.
I got a glass of wine and a sign in the other hand.
Yeah, I need to figure out what tournaments I want to go to coming up here. Like, there's a team tournament in North Carolina, which you guys said you wanted to go, and I'm intrigued about going, but I haven't heard anything.
I want to go to the BFS one too. That's in April. That's an 8-man.
Are you coming down?
Hmm?
Are there plans to go down to Chattanooga? I guess technically it's Cleveland, Tennessee, for their 8-man tournament in March.
I mean, I want to go to all the 8-mans, to be honest with you.
Well, we should probably start planning. I mean, it's coming up pretty soon now.
You're gonna be a stickler about this stuff and say you have to make actual plans. I guess we can do that.
I know it's so difficult to try to figure out who's actually going, because I'm pretty sure Steven and Sean are on their own team.
What? They're on my team.
You sure about that?
I don't know. Crawley, are you and I playing on 8-mans? I was pretty sure we were. Hopefully he's still here. You're taking too long. I know there's delay, but I demand instant answers to my questions at all times.
I mean, you have that 30-second delay up though, so.
I don't have it on purpose. Also, your cork's not covering the whole base. This is bothering me.
It is on most of them. Well, the next step for me is to damage them anyways. So the ones that it's not completely covered correctly.
Like damage them emotionally, like your dad.
Yes.
Your dad doesn't think you're doing a good job as a cork.
You are a disappointment.
Your father and I were talking, and we think that you should do something else besides be our cork. God damn it.
It's so weird working with 25mm bases. Like, I haven't put together a 25mm base in a very long time, but these are for some breachers.
Got it.
They're so smaller than you would think.
Joe, if you could play a large team tournament every month, would you stop going to solo GTs like in a heartbeat? Like I vastly like team tournaments more than I like singles tournaments. Everything about them is just better for me. It also doesn't matter if you lose a game or not, because it's all about the team. It's all about the team score. and the meta's always okay in an 8-man. Like, even if when the meta's broken, 8-man team tournaments aren't. Like, some people have to play against the busted shit or with the busted shit, but the rest of the people are playing the other stuff, you know what I mean, and getting matched up appropriately. So, yes, I would go to like a couple like random team events, or I'm sorry, singles events that are things that I just always like going to. I'd go to Glass City because it's right next to me. I'd probably do like an LVO, just because it's worth big singles points. That's the only thing about team events is it would actually make it so I'm no longer ranked where I am, just because of the fact that they give you points for only the number of teams as opposed to the number of players.
I don't even think with the new edition change they've been really ranking any of the team events. Like I don't recall seeing them posted for anywhere, like for ATC or WTC.
Yeah, it was just the way that they do them. It doesn't matter though. They never will be very much, even if you're at a huge tournament. They just do by the number of teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you could be an 8-man, with 800 players, and then you would only count as a GT with 100. You know what I mean? So that's a big deal. But I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? I don't really care about that as much. I just like to do well. But I just enjoy the team tournaments just a billion times more than anything else. You know what I mean? So it's just, man, I love that version of playing so much more. So, and I don't think there's anything that's going to change my ranking till, like, for instance, talking about rankings, I don't think there's even an event I could go to that would change my ranking till LVO. Because, like, Winter Assault was 85, 90 people or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that didn't change. I did get third because of the tiebreakers. I think maybe a second or first could have possibly put up one of my scores, but I don't think so.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of large events this time of year, which doesn't make much sense. They're all during the summer. I don't get that.
It's tough on those because, like, I like to do stuff in the summer. Danny wants me to go to a Swedish team tournament in February. I thought about it because I've still got credits that are literally go away in March.
Well, then you should do it.
For Delta, because when I didn't go to Europe, I still have all those flight credits.
They only give you 6 months to spend them.
It's just the way it happened. It was weird.
I mean, I guess it's better than losing them completely, but it's kind of not a lot of time to plan an entire vacation in Europe.
It is what it is. So, but I got that going on. I debated on rocking over to there. I enjoy hanging out with everybody. I mean, that's the biggest thing is that I enjoyed, like, everybody was nice. They had a little couch area. The problem was it was like really hard to get drinks and stuff. So like everybody kind of fizzled away. I really feel bad for hotel staff when they don't take into play that there's going to be a big convention there. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
I think you should go to Europe, Brad. I mean, ultimately, you don't want to skip other tournaments that you plan on going to in order to go to Europe, but how many more opportunities are you going to get to go to Europe? Seriously.
I think I'm going to play in the Merc team this year. For WTC. Daniel asked me that. I'm gonna do that for sure.
Not going to do any coaching or anything?
Well, I was going to coach for Sweden. And I thought about playing for 2 other teams to not be named because they didn't want me to say it because they had to okay it first. But I just like to go and do the hangout thing, you know what I mean? And that is basically what you're doing if you play Mercs. You're showing up and you're playing some 40K and you're having some drinks and you're enjoying the holiday, basically.
I mean, it sounds like there's a distinct possibility of them having multiple mercenary teams just because there's a lot of small countries who are interested in having a team, but they're just unable to get 8 players to make that kind of commitment.
The problem is that they're worried that the Merc teams are gonna Merc like super teams from all the countries together. So they made a new rule that said on any mercenary type stuff, even if you, like, for instance, you're like Greece, whatever, one of the Asian teams, you know what I mean, where they didn't have a ton of players, they wouldn't be able to have two players from the same country. That is the rule now. Because both Hesselbergs are going to try to be on the Merc team, and they said that they only can have one player from each country now.
See, I think that's actually kind of interesting because it's already in their rules that they can't win first. Like they don't win any awards; they're just there to be there.
It's just, it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? It's just they, I don't know. I want to get into that. It's just, it's one of those things where they want to put those rules types things in play and with people. So we'll see. Either way, it's all good. I enjoy, that the community of international teaming, teams. It's just fun. And I like the holiday anyways, to be honest with you. I enjoy traveling. Well, I enjoy being there. I fucking hate traveling.
Yeah, the last time you went, you had a pretty good time with me, huh?
Quad Fisting Valley.
I was talking to some of the people at the World Team Championship back in November about mercenary teams, and they said if I'm interested, then I should go. So maybe I'll be on a mercenary team.
Hell yeah.
I had an amazing time when I went.
Man, you can quad fist the shit out of this.
Got to keep you out of trouble.
To keep me out of trouble? You were keeping me in trouble.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I was a responsible adult that made sure that you made it to every single location.
Made sure. I mean, you did get me to places, I guess, but you also tried to murder me by never letting me sleep and trying to make sure that I was drinking for, like, inappropriate amounts of time. Get to painting my monoliths and doom signs. I think I actually do have a monolith in the basement somewhere. Because when Willingham way back in the day ran the end of fun list, the triple monolith list, where it just did nothing. You could kill it. No one got to do anything. Do you have an end result of one of these?
I do have an end result.
Can I see one? Because this cork is starting to upset my soul.
So I don't have the bases yet. So I'm doing 30 infantry, 1 flyer, 1 storm surge base, and 1 town R base. I'm ready to work on a town R base. I think I'm gonna incorporate ruins into it and do an old entire mosaic pattern. That'd be fun.
Sick. So that's what the cork was gonna become?
Yep.
I don't believe this.
You don't believe this? Well, that's why I'm ready for the next step. So I'm going to show you how you get there.
I don't think that this is a real thing. That looks like nothing part of what it is.
This is.
That looks like all that little white things that you cut.
I mean, yeah, and they go on top of the cork.
Why do they go on top of the cork and not on top of the base?
So in order,
I don't understand what's happening here. What kind of voodoo witchcraft are you trying to pull on me?
What kind of voodoo witchcraft? I'm giving the model height. So by putting it on cork, it makes the model slightly taller. Allows you to do more dynamic positioning. It allows you to do more interesting things with the base and have multiple tiers and levels. So it's interesting. That's why I start with the base of cork. On 60 millimeter bases I've already done for this particular client. I had 3 stories on them, had pillars crashed into the floor. It's just that these 25 millimeters, you can't really do that much.
KR. This is why I buy resin bases. This is too much work.
It's fun. I enjoy doing this way more than painting.
So what's the next step here?
So the next step
you made this pile of cork. It looks like you vandalized Cork City.
Oh, and I'm going to keep this for future projects. This is prime building material for rubble and rocky bases. So the next step is I have spent probably about an hour already cutting these little plastic sheets.
Oh, you got called out. All I hear in a true line of sight bet is makes the models taller for better shooting angles. Woo!
Yes, because the Tau Pathfinder that's a quarter of an inch tall.
That's right, man. He couldn't have saw over that bush, but now Now he's stretch. So what are you gonna do with these? You gotta put the little whitey flighty
Yeah.
deals
So what
on.
I'm gonna do is I'll start working on them now, but this is gluing them together in a mosaic pattern, doing different angles, and then letting them fully cure, and then I'll trim the edges around. And then the bases where the floor has been damaged, I'll put ballast and damage the plastic pieces so they look like there's been like a grenade explosion or there's been a mortar round that's detonated in the Imperial Palace. Actually, let me clean up all this excess cork and then I will start working on it because I have a lot.
I made an explosion for you, buddy.
Proud of you. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm here for you. I'm the technological force that drives
You
this
are
cast.
doing a pretty good job today. Like the it hasn't crashed. I'm properly proportioned.
I like when I stretch you out. You're like, what happened to Brandon? He is wildly obese now. He also got so much shorter.
My hands just mutated. I'm like Mr. Stretch or something.
So you're just gonna glue all the little white bits to the cork bits, and then what goes on top of those bits?
So on top of those, that's when you just put some ballast, gravel, and
I'm saying
then
ballast so I can make my ship flat.
oh, it's ballast.
Gonna weight that down so it sails properly.
Yes.
Now we can sing sea shanties. Yeah, apparently I developed a lisp out of nowhere there.
Well, good thing Eloise isn't here because she'll start singing them. So
What can you do with a drunken sailor?
yeah, but she does them all in French. It's super weird. It's the same songs that you're familiar with, but it's all in French.
We.
So speaking of traveling to Europe, I want us to acknowledge the fact that in the United Kingdom right now, if I could go to IKEA and buy a 10-pound meatball for Christmas.
You were really focused
I,
on that 10-pound
I,
meatball.
because I'm very sad that I cannot get that. That is such an American thing that I just cannot get.
I've got a 10-pound meatloaf recipe. I've got a 10.
No one wants meatloaf.
I do.
No one actually wants meatloaf. Meatloaf is like a disappointing meatball
10-pound meatball
from IKEA.
from IKEA.
Yeah. It even comes with all the sauces and everything that you would expect to have a 10-pound meatball.
Like the cranberry stuff.
Yeah. Lingonberry, but yes.
Holy crap. Hold on. I'm
You need to share this. Like
I am. I'm gonna download the picture.
this is by far the most American thing possible, and it's not being sold in the United States. This is a travesty against the people of America.
Shenanigans. I'm gonna put this up. This is large. Okay. Kia meatball. It is big, I have to say. Bam! That is a 10-pound Kia meatball. Holy cocksmolio. I like that they're carving it up. Is it just on rice or something?
It's on mashed potatoes.
I can't tell. It's too hard to see the goddamn Death Star of meatballs.
It apparently comes with its own specialty box and everything in order for you to cook it
Where do you even cook it?
in the oven.
Man, this shit ain't fitting in my oven. That looks like it's bigger than the person.
I mean, it might be bigger than you, but it should fit in the oven.
That is a large and in charge meatball.
That's what I'm saying. You can't tell me there's no one who follows Death or Glory that wouldn't buy one of these.
You're saying that we're a bunch of fat bastards?
No, I just think it's the most ridiculous thing possible, and that everyone should want to buy one of these. So it comes with like the gravy that they make and the lingonberry jam. When I found out about this, the first thing I did was find out where the closest IKEA was. Then I realized it was only available in the United Kingdom, and I'm very sad.
And how do you
Because
get that thing all the way done in the middle?
I'm gonna go with the bold assumption it's pre-cooked, and you're just heating it up.
Oh, it has to be.
Because I mean, IKEA meatballs are pre-cooked, so
I like that we went to meatballs. You're like, hey man, how do you guys
this is
usually finish off the show?
meatballs.
Meatballs.
It totally makes sense. You can't tell me you wouldn't want to buy one of those.
I mean, I kind of want to buy them right now, to be honest with
That's
you.
that's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous.
I'm trying to figure out if they can ship one.
I don't know why it's not available in the United States, other than the fact that there's too many people here who would think that's a normal serving size.
Kia's 10-pound meatball belongs in your holiday menu. It's also, you can do it in turkey.
I would 9,000% have that over a holiday ham or a turkey.
This thing is making me happy. I made a list with Spider, 3 Doomstalkers, and Reanimator to Death Star round like that meatball. Oh man, that's good. That's good. The I don't know. I've been having a lot of fun with the Necrons. I love that meatball thing, but it just made me think of Necrons again. I just I enjoy making the list with that army. So unlike my ad mech attempts, where I was just like, "Ugh,
This sucks.
I'll let somebody figure this out. 'Cause I don't want to.
Ray, what tournament should I go to next?
Glass City with me.
Thought about it.
Just come on up. It's only for the weekend, and it's a Saturday Sunday tournament. I don't know how much it costs, to be honest with you. I've been looking that up. I don't know, but because you'd have to ship it.
Well, it's only available in the United Kingdom. I have not been able to find the price. I actually don't think it's available yet. I think it's going to be available this holiday season.
Is because they said it's an extremely limited edition 10-pound meatball.
Yeah.
And I can't find where. I'd have to. Well, they're all video clips, so I don't want to watch them in the middle of this.
They're probably all sold out already.
I forgot how long I kept that meatball up. That's fantastic. Also, I do love the fact that when you and I stream, for whatever reason, the delay is wildly more than it is on any of my other streams.
That's a setting issue. You could probably fix that.
Yeah, I can't find it though. I don't know what it is.
It's in the base scheduling settings.
I don't change any of that shit. I don't change the delay. I didn't put in a custom delay or anything else.
It's okay. You'll figure it out sooner or later.
Will
You
I?
probably just need to look at it.
Will I figure it out? Do you think that's going to happen or maybe not? What I'm going to go get is some Diet Dr. Pepper. I'm freaking out right now. I don't have any in my house. Like, I thought about that because my spot on my desk where my pop's supposed to be has nothing there, and it's making me lose my mind.
Are you gonna be okay?
Not really. I'm addicted to one thing, and it's Dr. Pepper.
I was gonna say black tar heroin, but I guess it's better than black.
It's much better than black tar heroin. I can't be addicted to a real drug. I would just die. I have to be addicted to lower end drugs like caffeine and bubbly dark liquids. I wish they made it in glass bottles too. I have. Said I prefer the Zero is my favorite. Dr. Pepper Zero. That shit is amazing. It's the best thing because I don't like most sodas. Regulars. I drink everything diet, and not even just because of the calories. I mean, the calories are one thing because they're just empty calories, but whatever. But I've always thought they were too sweet, and I've never really liked sweet stuff. I like a lot of things that are terrible for me, but I don't like sugary stuff. I'm not a sweets guy. I want my junk foods need to be salty and crazily good. But yes, the cherry cream, zero, the diet, all the zero flavors are fucking boss mode for a Dr. Pepper.
I like a Dr. Pepper cherry, just the normal cherry, not the.
Yeah, it's just again, it's just a little too sweet for me. I've always been that way. Even as a little kid, I didn't eat candy. It's just not been my jam. You know what I mean? Like if I ate the way I wanted to, I'd look like Jabba the Hutt because I just eat dark breads and cheese and stuff all day and just be like, oh, 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 just you'd roll me everywhere. But as far as sweets, I've never been down. It's not my jam. It's not my cup of tea. Speaking of that, Earl Grey. That's the only tea you should drink. Nothing in it.
I'm pretty sure we have 300 different types of tea upstairs.
Too many. I saw that when I came over because I told Eloise I wanted a cup of tea. She was like, "Which kind would you like? Funkleberry, orange, slice, ninja, fucking monkey tossing."
Right now she is doing orange and honey flavor.
Yeah,
That's the
just
go-to right this moment.
Earl Grey black tea.
So boring.
That's all I want. I wanted to settle my tumultuous stomach down. Move on with life. I'm all good in the hood. I gotta figure out what's said. I rebranded the Thursday tomorrow show, and I gotta figure out exactly what I want to do. I want to showcase more people's stuff.
Actually, Brad, we've talked about it before, and you never actually acknowledged it. One, did you ever choose your favorite marble team?
Oh yeah, but oh dude, I forgot that I watched a bunch of those vids on YouTube, and I didn't know that there was a marble controversy with. I can't remember what team it is now. Because I haven't looked at it since we talked. You know, like I watched it for like a day and a half after we talked about it, and there was a controversy over one of the guys leaving the teams, and so I was just like, oh my god, is there really a controversy in the marble racing community? Oh, it was fantastic. Makes me ecstatically happy. I do love the fact that Crawley came in, talked shit, and left. And never came back.
Well, I think he wanted to be called in. And you have that power. I think you ignored him.
He didn't say to call in. Or at least I didn't see it.
And then two, where's that snow globe? I sent you a snow globe for Christmas.
Oh, it's downstairs.
We'll go get it.
Oh,
Why isn't it on your desk?
It was on my desk. I showed it to Brittany last night. And it's right next to her where she was sitting on the couch. Because I said how awesome it was. And I ran up the stairs and got it. And then I used my inhaler because I'm dying.
That one did come out really well.
Yeah, exactly. He goes, he also never told us what the best data sheets were. He goes, "You're not using any of the best data sheets. Smoke bomb, I'm out." Just never said anything. But now that snow globe's the boss. It's the best one too. I don't care.
Well, it has all the bright colors.
Yes, it's got the cool rider. It's awesome. I appreciated it and thank you.
You're welcome.
And it will be on my desk. It will continue to be on my desk. It's been on my desk. I didn't get to open it until I came back. It came like after I left for the plane.
Yeah, they decided to take it and transport it through, an Eskimo dog sled team because of how long it took.
Yeah,
I shipped a package to England the same day, and it got there faster than you opening that package.
nice. Strongsville. I think I'll say the box is still in my original garbage here. The I that was my favorite one by far. How are the snow globes doing, by the way? Have you sold a decent amount?
Snow globes, no. Ornaments, yes. I had a couple people reach out to me. Actually, I just knocked out one yesterday where I did a Blood Angels Assault Intercessor jump pack in an ornament. Here, let me get it. Yeah, he came out pretty well. The glare. You're killing me, glare. There you go.
He just exploded my eyes.
Yeah, I know. I had to turn the glare off so you can actually see the ornament.
That looks pretty cool too.
Yeah, he came out really well, and so that one's gonna be going in the mail hopefully
I'm
today.
just waiting for like next year that's like your full-time job is just making ornaments and snow globes. The holidays are a killer time for us over here at Still Frosty Gaming.
Well, I mean, I actually made a list of all the commission projects I've done this year, and I've done way more than I would have ever guessed when I started doing commission projects back in March. Like all these massive large basing projects, a terrain project, a display board project, all these Christmas ornaments. It's been a fun time. I'm enjoying painting all the models that I would never normally touch and painting alternative color schemes and just learning how to apply new techniques. It's definitely been a good time and it's helped me with not only my own personal hobbying, but just developing that skill set of how to do certain things.
How to, my friend. All right. Tell us what you got going on, where you're going to be, and then we're about to tell everybody to stay milky and we're out of here.
All right. Well, if you ever want to check out any of the work I have going on, you can check out www.stillfrostygaming.com. Maybe you want to buy a snow globe or an ornament or build your own ornament. Those are all available for sale on there. And if you just want to check out what's going on in my personal nerdy adventure, available on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
And I have officially ended with being Elmo.
I'm proud of you. Congratulations.
And on that, stay milky, my friends.